हाँ अच्छा, ये नहीं हलवा बनाएंगे। अभी नहीं अभी बनाए क्या करेंगे, 4 बजे उठेंगे ना तब बनाएंगे। समझ रहे हो?
So good afternoon and welcome you on the 13th session of ROTW 2026. We are going to start another session. So let me allow to introduce our today's speaker for this session. So it is my privilege and welcome you all to this session of faculty development program. Today we are honored to have with us Dr. Manish Kumar sir. We are grateful to Dr. Manish Kumar sir for kindly accepting our invitation and sparing his valuable time to share his expertise with us. Now, with your permission, I would like to briefly introduce our esteemed speaker. So, Dr. Manish Kumar received his PhD degree in Power Systems from the Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, IIT Roorkee, in 2021. His primary research interests include microgrids, renewable energy systems, robust voltage control, AI and machine learning applications in power systems, and green hydrogen production and integration. He has also contributed to multidisciplinary research projects sponsored by the Government of India and agencies in the United States during his tenure at the Department of Hydro and Renewable Energy, IIT Roorkee, as a postdoc fellow. Dr. Kumar has authored and co-authored several research papers published in the reputed national and international journals and conferences by leading publishers such as IEEE, IET, Springer, Elsevier, and SAGE. He is an active reviewer of many renowned journals such as IEEE Transactions, various Springers, and Elsevier journals. He is senior member of IEEE and life member of Indian Society for the Technical Education. Currently, he is serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra, Haryana, India, where he is actively involved in teaching, research, and academic development in emerging areas of sustainable power and energy systems. We are indeed privileged to have such an accomplished academician and researcher with us today. On behalf of the organizing committee and all the participants, I extend very warm welcome to you. Without taking much of your valuable time, I now request Dr. Manish Kumar sir to kindly deliver today's lecture. So thank you and welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arvind. Thank you for this beautiful introduction of mine. Right. So, if you allow, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Is it visible to you?
It is visible. It is visible.
Okay, 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 okay. Fine, fine, fine. So, okay. So, the presentation which I selected for this STP is the ethical use of AI tools, right? So, since we know we all are researcher here, we all are working in one or many domains, different vectors we are working on. And currently, you all know कि we have so many ways to get touch into the AI tools which we can use for the research. But most of us actually don't know the ethical use of those AI tools. So that's why I try to propose this presentation on ethical use, not the use of AI tools. So we will discuss in details one by one how to use the AI tools, different AI tools available for the research fraternity, the ethical use of them, so that when we go deep into the research work, we should know that these how ethically we can use these without getting into ethical of copyright and that intellectual property right problems. We can use these tools in a right way, right, in a right direction. So as you can see in my first slide, that AI as assistant, not replacement. What does it mean? It means that AI tools, whatever we are using, they are only for assisting us. These are not the replacement of the researcher. The way researcher can think, the way researcher can make some hypothesis of his research or her research, that cannot be replaced by the AI. AI can never be a co-author or an author of any research work. It can only be a assistance to us, right? And that also we have to disclose in our work. That we will discuss later, right? So if we go on the first slide, so how we are using and where we are using that AI in our research, this window will show everything to us. So here we can see that we are using it in a multiple domains, starting from the literature reviews and the gap identification. On earlier days, we don't have these kind of tools. So that times the researcher has to review a number of papers with them. So it took around all of the one whole year it took to get some gaps. So right now it is quite easy, but not 100% correct. That we will discuss how. So then the hypothesis generation, then it can be used in the experimental design setups, data collection and processing. We know that how it can be used. Then statistical analysis, the decision support system from the dashboard and simulations, multiple simulations and optimization we can use through AI. Then the code generation that we are using, everybody is using, and even if the debugging is also possible with them. And the peer review support, it provides referencing, it provides with different kind of it short basically the citation, it can short the citations in a proper way which we need for a particular journal. We can utilize it. And other things that the scientific writing assistance is provide not multiple way, like grammar improvement, and it provide the style suggestions, what kind of such style for a particular for a particular journal we can use it. It also provides predictive modeling, like forecasting and all, weather forecasting, and other things in different domains, not only in engineering domain, but in science domain also, we can utilize it properly. So there are multiple areas where we can use these AI tools. So right now, we are not saying any ethical use of it. These are the domains where we can use that AI. So one by one, we will discuss the areas. So the research shows that almost 80%, or nowadays it is more than 80% of the researchers that they are those who are using that AI tools. So where and how we can use it in
Manish
literature
sir,
review? Ha, sir,
yeah,
please.
excuse me, Manish sir. Can you
Yeah, yeah,
reshare your screen? It is blur is coming in the PPTs.
it is.
You may like reshare, just
Okay,
disconnect and then reshare.
okay, okay, okay. Give me a
Now
sec. Is it fine, sir?
Just a minute. Uh, it is still blurring is coming.
It is not moving, you're saying?
You cannot turn off your video, sir.
Okay.
So maybe quality may improve. You can just turn off your video. Maybe then internet connectivity may get improved.
Is it visible, sir?
It is little bit good.
Okay, okay.
It may improve.
There is some problem of internet connectivity.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so
it
you
is
may
moving
continue.
now.
It is moving. It is moving.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, thank you. So the use of AI, we know that every researcher nowadays is using more than 84% or 85% researcher in the world. They are using the different kind of AI tools, whether it is cloud, whether it is Chat GPT or Gemini or any other tool. They are using it. DeepSeek also they are using. So they're using it for multiple ways. So where we can use these AI tools one by one, we can see for the literature review, we are using this because it provides a very fast way of getting information from the different literature available in the scientific domains. In different scientific domains, it is available. In different literature, it can read very fast and it provides the summarize and also it basically reduces the time which were being used by the different researcher in the past, 5 or 6 years before. Also, it provides some research gap identification. We know that nowadays it is quite easy to get the research gap in the same domain which we are working in different areas or domains. Hypothesis generation, yes, of course, it suggests the potential research questions and the hypothesis, whether it is null hypothesis or any alternate hypothesis, or it may be your complex or simple hypothesis. It provides that hypothesis generation. So with this, it is quite easy to save your time, right? To get the literature review of different things, to get the gap present gap in the domain you are searching for. Similarly, the data collection and processing, it also provides some data extractions and also that cleaning of the data from the multiple sources. Multiple sources means multiple available sites it can take, the literature which is available on the internet, right? It provides a clean data. Then statistical analysis, it also assists us for doing different statistical methods or interpreting the results from the analysis it provides us. Predictive modeling, as we know that there are multiple that machine learning algorithms, right, which develop the accurate prediction and forecasting models in the uncertain areas. Like for the power system area, if we talk about it is the renewable energy available or the load forecasting, right? So these all are being provided through the AI tools in multiple ways. Similarly, we are using the AI tools in simulations and optimizations also. So earlier days, the codes were very heavy codes you were running. Nowadays, the codes are quite easy to run. We know that most of us and many of us are using these codes on that Google Colab we use. So Python makes so many things easy in that way, right? So in engineering sectors or healthcare also, industrial areas also, industrial automation areas also, we are using all these tools. Other than these tools, we are using that AI tools for the scientific writing assistance, as we know that it improves the grammar, readability, structure, and formatting of the manuscript with respect to the requirement of a particular journal or a book chapter or a book, right? Xavier, it may be IEEE, it may be Elsevier, it may be Spinger, it may be Wiley. So there are multiple way to improve the formatting, right? So that grammar and readability is common for all other journals. The code generation and debugging, right? So you are also working on that you are using multiple AI tools for generating the codes. Okay, it may be programming codes or any other kind of codes, and it also help us in identifying and fix errors. Those who are using that Gemini on that Google Colab for Python coding, that they know once any error comes, it will provide us the assistance to get information about the error which came, and it provides the further improvement in that code. Then it says ki, you accept our suggestion. If you click on that, again it will start running and it will provide us the solution accordingly, right? Then we are using it for visualization. AI, that tool create graphs, flowcharts, conceptual diagrams, and interactive visualizations. Right. So these are the use of AI. Right? And right now we are not claiming that whatever you're getting from the AI tools are 100% accurate. That is the different aspect of that using AI tools that we will discuss in details. So also the reference management, we know that that citation formatting and bibliographic organizational structure of that accordingly, according to the general requirement, we will make use of that AI tool. Then peer review support, it also provides that the detection of plagiarism and missing citations in the our write up. It provides before submission so many issues, language issues may arise. So it provides support to that also. Then experimental design, that AI recommend what could be the experimental parameters and their influence, the variables which are required in that particular experiment to get a proper experimental setup. So what parameters are being optimized to get that setup optimally work, and what can be the variable which impact on the results of that particular experiment. That also being suggested by the AI. Then the decision support, it provides the data driven recommendations. So many machine learning recommendations provide us for selecting a particular model, that particular algorithm and methodology used for a particular experiment or a particular that the way of proceeding in particular research work it provides. Similarly, research productivity automatically it increases, that saves times, right? Multiple scenario it can take, multiple simulations it can do. So at the end, in totality, it save our time. So now, with all those aspects which we have discussed, there are some challenges. Uh, in this diagram, which is generated from the AI itself, you can see the AI generated some mistakes. So I encircle those mistakes. So these are the key challenges related to accuracy, related to lack of critical thinking, that bias in the output. Then it can provide the fabricated references. Ethical concern may come. Data privacy is also a big challenge with the use of AI. Then some reproducibility challenges. Everything we will discuss in detail. Right now, I'm just highlighting the problem with this slide, what they made. So over dependence on AI on our research work may give us so many problems also. The key challenges are like this. So here we can see in the second, lack of critical thinking, it pasted it two times, right? But if you closely see that the diagrams inside those circles are different. So it provides the same title, subtitle, but the AI thinks ki we provided the different way of representation, but we did not want that. So these kind of mistake it can give. Similarly, that fifth and sixth, again they are copied with different that graphical thing, right? So these kind of errors it always can generate, right? So these are the key challenges. So one by one we will discuss what are these key challenges. So first is your accuracy. What happened when we use an AI tool? So the results may be incorrect or misleading information. This is called hallucination. So we think, so here if I remove that circles, it quite difficult to say until and unless we read one by one everything that this slide have some issue in generating the results. But since I encircled to show you the mistake that AI gave, it was generated through Gemini, so it gave us some error. So I encircled that. So these are called hallucination that we think it is correct, but actually, if we uh, go through the human intervention to see whether it is correct or not, so you will find many flaws in that. Right. So blind dependency on AI is always be uh, problematic. Similarly, this lack of critical thinking, this issue is very important. Right. You know, because if we are totally dependent on AI, the human brain will not work in that way. So logical reasoning and scientific judgment hamper all the time. For every review, we all belongs to research fraternity. If we got some papers for review, what we are doing right now, that is unethical. Some of the reviewers, they put whole of the paper, the manuscript he's getting from some journal to the AI tool to provide me some review comments on that. That is unethical, as well as it is a point of data uh, encroachment, data privacy, right? And more or less, what we are doing, we are trying to replace the human reasoning power from this AI. This is not a correct way. So I will give you one example also, which I personally find while reviewing one paper that we'll discuss later. So third point is bias in the output. So we know what the way AI tool is being trained, it always gives the results in that way, right? So the data it has may be biased data, may maybe it suits to a particular gender. It may happen because it is basically a machine which is learning, continuously learning. So data which it is just digesting, it will provide the results accordingly. So it may be the bias. The results may be biased according to the training data. Now the fabricated references. This is very common problem with all the researchers. What we are doing nowadays, provide me some research reference with respect to the this topic. It will generate. You will give it any task, it will generate that reference without even thinking about whether that references are correct or not correct. And it is well known fact that around 30 to 35% of the references it is generating are non-existing. So this is the, I think, the point which everybody is facing right now, that every researcher is facing right now. Okay. So human intervention is very important. You have to cross check every reference. Every reference you have to cross check. So blindly, I will suggest never generate the references from AI. If you're generating it from the AI, cross check that references before submitting that manuscript, that important manuscript, which is a deciding factor for your PhD submission or your point API score and anything else to the journal, right? So just cross check, because once it is with editor, that editor will definitely check everything. He will check that AI content. He will check the overall plagiarism in that manuscript, and accordingly, it will make a perception about the author, right? So try to avoid that. Then data privacy risk. This is also one of the important aspects. You know, uploading confidential and unpublished research may compromise your data. So it is quite important. Do not upload whole of your manuscript in any AI tool. If you are uploading it in a Turnitin kind of software, which provides you the plagiarism content of AI and the overall, so that is different thing. But if you are putting that data into an AI tool, uh, he's being trained, that AI tool is being trained through that data, which is not a good thing. So nowhere you just upload your name, your designations and your phone numbers, or your other things, other the confidential things to that AI tool, right? It can be compromised. Ethical concerns are there, like authorship, plagiarism, and the transparency. AI always have some issues. So if any improper use of AI is there, it will always coming up with some ethical concerns, right? So that AI tool can never be author. That's why I told you in very first slide that it is only the assistance. It is not the author. It cannot replace an author. Then that limited domain expertise. So this is what the problem. Suppose there is a domain, power domain, or electrical domain, or science or biological domain, but it has subdomains also. So if a domain which requires a highly specified knowledge, or some area which are being emerged, which are not being trained by the AI in past. So for those kind of domains or subdomains, it can provide a misguided information, right? So for those emerging areas, do not rely blindly on that AI. Other than these key challenges, we have some other challenges like reproducibility challenge. You also experience this if you are putting some data, or if you are asking something for to generate from the AI. It may vary over the time. Like the same question you ask once, and after some time, if you ask the same question, it may generate in a different way. So reproducibility challenge always there with the AI. Dependence on AI. So as I told you earlier, also excessive reliance on it can reduce the researchers' analytical and problem solving skills. It is real time, something like that in real world problems. It produces some uh, unwanted problems with the use of analytical and solving skills. Here I can give you one example which I personally find. I got one paper to review from a reputed journal. Uh, so when I was reviewing that paper, I just find three figures, continuous figures, and that was highly, high resolution figures. So it was something like that dispatch problem he was solving. That author was solving dispatch problem, and he has multiple sources with him. It was, battery. It was solar. It was a fuel cell, and one grid was there. Right. So what he was finding the optimal dispatch of those DERs, the distributed energy sources. So where I was just going through that journal and that paper. So I critically observed that author did a means blunder in that. So what happened while using the solar penetration into the system? His code generates that solar at the midnight. You know, from 12 midnight to morning 5 o'clock. Morning 5 o'clock. And in around 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., that solar was going at peak. So the kind of blunder was coming from the wrong code generation. It was coming from the not using that analytical skills, that problem solving skills. So he blindly uh, got results from the code generated from Python or whatever the software he was using, and he obtained the result and he pasted that result blindly. So now just think that uh, the editor, his duty is to assign that journal, that paper to different reviewers. Once that point goes to different reviewers, what is the image of that author? Because name of the author and affiliation was uh, available with that paper. So next time means automatically the perception will be like that he is getting the results from AI blindly and he is putting that results blindly on the papers. and he's justifying in that he didn't see that results was coming wrong, but he described that results in the results and discussion part, right? But probably that was also coming from AI generated. So next time, whenever somebody got such kind of papers, immediately he'll reject that paper. So better to generate the things which is needed. Okay, take AI as an assistant, not as an co-author. It is not like that co-author generate that code and provide that wrong code, and you just submitted that without checking it, cross-checking it. So it hampers our analytical skill of that. He didn't see the results. He just submitted that. So avoid that. Right. Other than that, that copyright and intellectual property issue. We do not know so many things, that how much part we can take, how we can declare the content we have taken from the AI, right? So it may raise the problem of ownership and licensing concern. So many things are generated from the AI tool, but AI only generates the things which is available somewhere. It's training from that data, that information, and it is providing the results. So we should know the copyright and intellectual property issues. The intellectual property issues directly belongs to the patents and all, right? So we should know the use of AI in a way that it not affect that, it not raise concern over the ownership of that data we are putting and we are saying it is our data, right? Lack of explainability. So sometimes it provides some codes or models which are just like a black box. We do not know what exactly is going on into that box, right? So it is quite difficult at that time to interpret the results, right? So in particular domain, why it happens in a particular domains, it is not well trained. So for that, it provides some data. It is duty. It is its duty to provide the data, whatever it is. It will provide. If you ask who I am, it will provide that data, something like something it will be providing, although he doesn't know anything. So make sure that the domain which we are searching for should be clear to that, right? So be specific about your domain and the question you are asking from AI. Then the last point is very important here: need for human verification. This comes for the authorship. So that human is the only author of a manuscript. AI can never be an author. So all the generated content must be carefully reviewed and validated before the use by a human, by a author, right? So now these are the 8 core principles of ethical use of AI tools. So if you always keep these 8 tools in your mind, you will never get affected by the use of that AI. Content, how much content we can take from the AI for our research work, we know, then there is no issue. We should know the regulations, we should know the data security, we should know the quality control of the data, we should know the originality of the data, how to mitigate the bias from that data, and there must be some accountability and transparency, right? And then we will see the broader impact of that data or that use of AI tools. So these are 8 broader principles of ethical use that we or every researcher must know. Like regulation. Regulation means what are the legal guidelines or ethical guidelines by your institute or by any organization is given to you. Like if my organization says, ki, okay, you're using AI content, no issues, but it should not be more than 10%. It should not be more than 12%. So we know the guidelines now. Similarly, if we are using any AI content and we are disclosing that in our declaration, that AI is being used to improve the writing of that uh, manuscript or the text. So okay, we are okay with that. So we should know the regulations on that. Similarly, the data security, then the quality control, everything we will discuss in details now. Originality, bias mitigation, accountability, transparency, and broader impact of all these, right? So one by one we'll go through, but before that we will just see the meaning of them. So now the core principles, first is regulation. Regulation means that follow institutional, legal, and ethical guidelines when you are using that AI tool. Second is data security. It means that sensitive data should be protected, that confidential data and the personal data should also be protected, right? So we should not provide any personal data or confidential data to the AI. You will learn, and now your data is no more confidential. Then the quality control. So all the output which is coming from the use of AI should be validated and verified. Why? Because for the accuracy and reliability purposes. Then the originality of the data. Ensure research is novel and avoid plagiarism or any uncredited AI generated content. So originality should be ensured, which is coming from the AI, right? So that for that we have to cross check, we have to cross validate everything. Then the bias mitigation. So for this purpose, we have to identify and minimize the unfair bias in AI models and research outcomes. So we have to compare it with the practical scenario and the scenario which is being generated from AI. If there is some bias, we have to remove that bias. So for that also, that human intervention is very important, right? Then the accountability. So the researcher remain responsible. AI never be responsible. Keep in mind, accountability will always be asked from the human, from the author, not from the AI tool. So you are responsible for whatever you are publishing. So researchers or authors, they are remain responsible for all AI related work and the decisions, right? Then the transparency. Transparency means you have to disclose how and where that AI tool is being used in your research work, research process. So your work should be clearly mentioned that this where and where we have used and in what way we have used that AI tool in our work. Then the broader impact of that core principles. So it can be a social, it can be environmental, or it can be ethical consequences that may arise because of the use of legal or illegal, ethical or unethical from the AI tools. So these 8 were the core principles of the use of AI tools in an ethical way, right? Keep these 8 in mind. Most probably you're out of the trouble while publishing any research paper. So now one by one we'll discuss, as we already discussed that we have to check the institutional policies, whatever the policies of universities or any organization is available for the use of AI research. Similarly, the publisher also uh, provides some information. Okay, in this way, you can disclose or the publisher requirement. What is that requirement of that publisher for a particular journal? So you have to ensure that your manuscript also complies with that. You have to disclose the AI disclosure and your submission guidelines, whether you're following that guideline or not. It is required, right? And in daily life, you're submitting your papers, you know it comes. When you're submitting your papers, suppose you're submitting in Elsevier. So when you are opening the first window, that author, then submitting manuscript, you will find a pop-up on that screen, a disclosure of AI that I'm using AI tool or whether I'm not using AI tool, right? Similarly, you should know the national laws on that AI accordingly while going through the data generation from the AI. So it may vary from country to country, right? So copyright and intellectual property that we already have discussed earlier. Now that data security, the risk and the best practices we'll see. So any upload of data which disclose your identity should not be uploaded, right? So any file which contains your personal information, that confidential information, or any sensitive information, right? That data to unauthorized access or misuse, it should not be uploaded in your AI tool. What is the best practice? You just remove that personal identifiable information. You remove that, such as your name, address, phone numbers, email address, ID numbers, and organization details, number of employees, and so many things are there, right? But before uploading data, it is not like that you have uploaded data with all that details, and now you're thinking, I just remove or I just delete that file and I will get out of that problem. No, once you have uploaded the data, it gets strained. Now there's no uh, further use or any way to get rid of once you upload it. So before uploading, you just remove everything from that. So the policies are also available for that. The private the privacy policies, they are available with that. So you should always choose that AI tool which clearly explain the policies. Right? There are certain tools which are day by day we are getting new and new tools for the use of AI. If you find on Google, you will find so many tools having different ratings. Some have 2.5 to 4.9, like that. So the the policies which are clear by any AI tool, you should read that policies. Then only you find a suitable tool for your research work, right? So as we discussed, that PII is basically the personally identifiable information. It can be any Aadhaar number, passport number, phone number, email address, or any biometric data. So you should avoid these data to be uploaded on the that AI tool, right? Third is your quality control. The quality control means never trust AI blindly. I've told you many a times that it has some inaccuracy issues. It has some logical reasoning issues. So you should not blindly trust whatever the output is coming from that AI tool, right? So here the accuracy means that you have to verify the information, calculation, or references, even if the facts, whether they are correct or not, from the reliable source. Let us suppose, for an example, you have generated some data, including the references. So you find four references, and now you want to make sure whether these four references are correct or not. You just have to pick every reference one by one from where it is showing. Suppose it is showing it is from Science Direct, like it is from Elsevier. So you have to put that name of authors, years, and page numbers, etc., to the Science Direct, and you can easily check. So it can be cross-checked by human only. So you have to check the accuracy of the generated data. Second, that logical reasoning. Logical reasoning means the data you're getting some conclusion from the research you have performed using AI. So you have to check whether it is logical or not. Whatever the output or conclusion or summary it is providing, it is logical or not. So it is human centric. Means you have to cross validate that. There should not be any contradictions in the accuracy of the data generated from the AI tools. So you have to cross validate that. Similarly, the relevance and the timelines. Timelines means confirm that the information is directly related to your research topic, right? And it is up to date with the latest development. So relevance of the work you're finding in your any AI tool should be correct. The information should be correct, and it should be related to your work only. So some domains are like in a way that it has multiple vectors. The same domain can be used in multiple ways. So it may provide the data with respect to some other domain, and you are searching for some different domain. So you have to check whether the data you're getting is related to your domain or not. Right? It can be checked by you only. Then as I discussed earlier also, that hallucinations. So that slide I have shown to you, the data which is being generated may have some hallucinations, may have some inaccuracy, which we cannot easily see, right? So AI generates the plausible, not verified text. Means whatever, anything you want to ask from AI, it will generate. It is correct or not, it is now your duty to cross validate, right? So AI, as it is written also here, that AI creates responses that sounds convincing, but they are not guaranteed to be factually correct, right? So it always provide you data which sounds very convincing, but maybe it is wrong. Like the example I've given you, the references. So once you say provide the four references particular to this domain, it will provide a four references, and it will provide in so confident that you will see the name, the hypothetical name of authors. You will find the hypothetical name of the title. You will find the hypothetical name of the year, as well as the journal, as well as the pages, right? So it will always provide you references in the form of some response, but they are not actually correct. So that you have to take care of. Right, earlier I told you that around 38% of the chat GPT references had wrong DOIs. I've told you multiple times. The AI generated contains incorrect or non-existing digital objective identifiers, DOIs, that belongs to a particular journal. So it may generate wrong DOIs. So that you have to make sure through a human cross validation, right? So always verify every reference manually. I've told you multiple times, whether it is generated from any AI tool, but you have to cross check that from Google Scholar, cross reference, Scopus, Web of Science, Science Direct, or any other Wiley online library. It is available on website. Go to their particular site, go to their actual site, check from that before submitting to any journal. Then fourth point is originality, right? So originality means do not present AI text as your own. I've told you AI is just for assistance. It is not the co-author. So you have to always write in your own records and acknowledge AI assistance whenever it is required. Okay, we cannot write anything, any AI tool like ChatGPT, Gemini as an co-author, right? But we have to disclose that we have used it. Verify all generated references. Last slide, we also discussed that. Then track down the original sources. So read and cite the original research paper instead of relying only on AI summaries or secondary references. So why it is important? On the very first slide, when I told you that we are going to go through the literature review part. So on earlier days, before 6 or 7 years or 5 years, we were downloading so many papers, hundreds, 200s, 300 papers. Then we were going through each and every paper one by one, finding out the gaps, and we were doing the literature. Right now, we have privilege to get every information through AI tools, but still, it is important to get the cross validation of it, literature review, whether the AI tools providing us the information. He's saying that this is the research gap in this paper. You have to cross validate. Uh, is it so? Is it exactly the data which it is generating, that AI tool is generating and saying that it is a gap? Maybe it is not a gap. It may be a gap for different domain. It may be a gap for a very small bandwidth. So you have to cross validate that. Then the fifth point is that bias mitigation. So bias mitigation means you have to reduce that unfair and systematic errors. It is present in the AI tools. Otherwise, the results which will come are unfair. It may be unreliable, right? So that AI, the problem with AI is basically the AI reinforces existing biases. already the existing biases which are available in his learning pattern, it will always come up with that as a result. So it is not a good sign of working with that AI. Like similarly, as I was talking, gender bias also. AI may favor or disadvantage a particular gender, right? If it is in its learning, the outcome will always be biased. It may be some racial bias also, that we also some ethnic group it may generate the data accordingly. So that we have to cross validate. Similarly, geographical bias may also present, right? That particular area is very nicely developed, and that particular geographical area is not nicely developed. So if some kind of data is there, so always it will generate the biased result. So we have to cross validate that data. So for that purpose, we have to consult that domain experts, right? With respect to the domain experts, we have to always concern person. We have to find that person and that cross check or cross validate that mitigation, right? And similarly, that we need a diverse perspectives of different peoples of different ethnicity, uh, with different gender to avoid the bias. So there are different backgrounds and disciplines. It will provide us a fair data outcome. It will reduce the error in the generated data of research. Now the accountability. As I told you, AI cannot be an author, right? So we cannot give credit to AI. We cannot, as an author, we cannot give credit, but we have to disclose that we have used the data, right? Because it cannot make intellectual contribution or meet the authorship criteria. So for a person to be an author in a journal or a book chapter or a conference or any other research aspect, has some name with that affiliation, institute name, email ID, everything should be there. So AI, you cannot use that AI person, oh sorry, AI as a co-author or as an author. It provides assistance. Just disclose that we have used in that way, right? Similarly, AI cannot take responsibilities like an author. If you are finding some feedback from the reviewers or from the editor, so you and only you have to respond to that, right? You can take help of AI tool, but you cannot say that my co-author is AI and he gave these results. No, it is your accountability. So AI cannot take responsibilities or accountabilities. Okay. Similarly, that human remains fully accountable, as I've told you, that for anything, any wrongdoings or any accuracy related or integrity related issues, only that human as an author is responsible, right? So you must understand the AI outputs. Whatever the output is coming out, you should clearly and critically evaluate that, and you should know what AI is generating, right, before the publishing that data, right? So whatever the data is coming out from that your search, it should be known to you. You should be critically evaluated that data, verify that data. You should understand that data, then only go for publishing that data with a disclosure that we are using that AI tool for grammatical or language or structural improvement, like that, right? Now, next is transparency. Transparency, as we have discussed, that it is basically the declaration, right? So we have to clearly reporting how AI tools were used in that research process to ensure the openness, trust, and the reproducibility. So first, like which tool and version we have used, we should tell them. We have to mention that AI tool, the name of that AI tool, and the version and model. Like since so for example, we have used that Chat GPT version 4.0. So we have to disclose that this is the version and this is the model of that particular AI tool we have used for this and this purpose in our research work. Similarly, Gemini 2.5, MATLAB AI assistance is also available, Copilot available. So that we have to disclose in our work. Second point, what was the purpose of using that? So we should specify the role in our research that we have used it for language writing, literature search, data analysis, code generation, and visualization like that. So we have to disclose that. If I hope so many of you people have published some book chapters, and in that book chapter, if you are submitting any book chapter, immediately, especially in Elsevier, you will find a contribution and disclosure agreement with the journal. So in that, you have to clearly mention the AI tool you have used and for what purpose you have used. You have to mention that, right? Where you have used and the methods acknowledgement you also have to mention. So clearly you have to state that the method section, methodological section, here AI contributed in the research methodologies, analysis, or any type of experiment. So that acknowledgement section also be a part of your disclosure, right? For minor resistance, language improvement, you can use. Everybody is using. So that you have to disclose, right? If its percentage is very less, like how much you used, so you can disclose accordingly. Then the ethical protocols. What are the ethical protocols we consider for the AI? So here that establishing that goals of our research, we should know what are the uh, goal of our research, what kind of work we want to take from the AI tools, we should know that. Then truly explore the tools, what and which tool is more comprehensive to find our particular domain, we should know that. So we are truly explore that particular the tools, then harness the right tool. Out of those tools, the correct way, the tool which we are finalized, that should be used in a correct way. So harness the right tool in a right way. Then, as we discussed, inspect the output. Inspect the output means whatever the output the AI tool is generating, we have to cross check, cross validate through the human intervention, right? Then cite the sources, whatever the sources we have generated from the AI tools. First, we have to check those sources, we have to cross validate those sources, and we have to cite those sources, right? Then acknowledge AI. We are using AI, more than 85% of the people are using AI. So acknowledge those AI. So right now, if you see in every journal, if you're submitting your paper, you will find that they are asking for acknowledgement or they are asking for disclosure because they also know everybody is using up to a certain percentage. And the look over guidelines, whatever the guidelines, regulations are available for the use of AI tools, you have to have go through those guidelines and then work on that. So this is just we can say the full form of ethical use of AI tools for our research work, right? Now, it can be used for, these are some of the examples where we are using actually on our daily research work. So brainstorming, grammar, editing, citation formatting, so all these kind of things we are using our AI tools. So for generating ideas, for brainstorming, we are using here. For identifying the possible topics in a certain domains. If you have a brainstorming session on a particular broader domain and you want to make it precise for a particular area, then you can take help of that AI tool. That grammatical editing, everybody is using, no issues. And then citation formatting, we know that depending upon the type of the kind of and the journal where we are going to publish our research work, we see that and we will cite our formatting accordingly. Then writing the full sections. So sometimes what we do, we find the data from the AI, then we rewrite that in our own language after understanding it. So yeah, that is a correct way, no issues. But we have to see that the data it is providing is correct or not. That we have to see. And then the data fabrication, as I told you, that data fabrication is very critical issue where we have to see that that AI tool is not generating any false or manipulated data with us. So we have to cross check that that data provided to us, and for this is important for that research integrity point of view, right? So AI as co-author, no, it can never be a co-author. It can only use for consulting us the results and not providing us the information so as to add it as a co-author in our research work. This is also the example of disclosure we earlier have seen that we used AI. The way, in what way we can write that disclosures, like we can write it a way like we used ChatGPT version 4 for the language editing, right? Similarly, we can write like that all the suggestions were viewed by the authors, reviewed by the authors. You have seen those who are reviewing the journal, they know this line because journal also asked whether you have used the ethical policies of the journal to review a particular manuscript. So there also we have to disclose that all the suggestions coming after review of that manuscript is from the by that reviewer. You know. So that suggestions were reviewed by the author also. That the suggestion we are providing as a reviewer to the authors, they have reviewed, right? So that is the duty of author to check and verify and accepted the modified AI generated suggestions before using them. And we take the full responsibility. So every time that author has the full responsibility of whatever the data is coming out from the findings of their research from a AI tool. So it overall or in totality, if we uh, discuss about this, it is basically the AI was used only as a writing support tool, right? While the author maintains complete control and accountability of that research. This is our disclosure. Uh, what are the use of ethical use of AI in the peer review and confidentiality? That do not upload manuscript to AI. I've told you multiple times to protect the and protect your confidentiality and data. Okay, for coming out any worst experience of your data breach. So do not upload manuscript to AI. Do not upload your manuscript to AI. You can upload manuscript to get literature review, but you cannot upload your manuscript, which is not published, right? Because it will learn that your AI tool will learn that. You can have many example of this. You just write an application to your dean or anywhere else, writing your name. Or next time, if you write an application to certain, it will automatically take your name in your account. Similarly, do not use AI to generate review reports. Right, you have to go through that paper in your own expertise. That critical analysis is important for that. That scientific judgment is yours only, not for the AI. It will generate data, right? So it is natural judgment of yours. It is not the natural judgment of AI, right? Similarly, that reviewers must be your independent work. That reviews must be your independent work means that reviewers should personally access that manuscript, originality, quality, methodology, and contribution without relying on the external AI system. So, as a reviewer, because you all belongs to that research domain, so in future also or nowadays currently also you are getting so many manuscripts to review. So always keep in mind when you are reviewing any manuscript, you should personally take care of that. You should not upload because it is his data also which is not published, right? So it is unethical, right? And it is not. It is basically a uh, data integrity issue when you upload his manuscript or her manuscript which is not being published anywhere to any AI tool just to get some information about that, right? So avoid that. Take some time. If you are getting so many manuscript at a time, decline. You can take one manuscript in a 20 days or 1 month also, but with full integrity, right? You're not supposed to get any award of if you're giving 20 reviews in a single month, right? Better to avoid, better to decline. Or just you can give them suggestions for any other reviewer which is good in review in a very less time he can review, but accountable reviewer, right? So that friction factor is also something related to the things which human can do, right? That the limit of independent thinking, right? So friction factor is something like that idea that challenge, efforts, and struggle help build deeper learning expertise. It will only come when you are personally taking care of the manuscript. You are not blindly coming into the AI tool or AI outcome generation, right? So it is something like that. So every time when you are blindly using AI tools, one question will always arise, like, am I saving my time or losing skills? So you have to evaluate this, whether AI is improving productivity, that or replacing essential learning and problem solving ability of the author, right? Similarly, that if you're blindly relying on AI, you're generating everything from AI. After some time, you will realize that you're losing your analytical skills, you're losing your problem solving skills, creativity, right? So removing all difficulties through AI may take faster, but some level of effort and struggle is necessary to develop the true expertise. So in that way, you're not supposed to uh, get an expertise of any domain. If you are doing everything relying every aspect on AI, so that time you are surely losing that expertise in that domain. Now, similarly in meetings also, how we are disclosing that we have to notify participants that in advance. We are suppose that AI tool is or assistant boot is basically recording your meeting videos and everything. So that we have to provide. This is the disclosure in use of AI in the meetings also, because we for that we have to take consent also. So whenever you are getting that any link, you have to like Teams or other Google Meet also. So they provide some disclosures in that, declaration in that. The video will be recorded, right? Once you are entered, clicking join the meeting, you are agreeing by default. Ki we are agree with that, right? We don't have any issue with that. You can record our videos. In IEEE conferences, if you remember, if many of you have submitted your manuscript, they also ask whether the presentation you are giving in that IEEE conference, it will be recorded. So whether you are agree with that or not, right? So many of us are some of us those who are interested, they say yes, okay, you can record it. Some of they said no, it is up to us, but it is their duty to disclose. These are the broader impact of the use of AI. These are the aspects like environmental aspects, the energy use. We know that so much of computational burden on the data centers because of data centers. So these AI models require significant computational power. That they need a terabytes or gigabytes of computational complexity, and for that to work upon, we they know they gigawatts of power they require. Right, they consume electricity and they increases the carbon emission. So this is the environmental impact of that using AI. We are using in an AC room, but to work upon that, it is so much of environmental adverse environmental impact. Social risk. It is like excessive dependence on AI may produce similar output and reduce the diversity, creativity that we have discussed multiple times here. Human thinking, human analytical power. They lose their human loses their critical thinking, right? And the positive is leveling the playing field of the non-native speakers. But this help us also in some or different way, like those who are native of some different language, their mother tongue is different, right? For an example, in China, locally they use so much of Chinese language, but if you find their manuscripts, the language improved so nicely when they try to publish or they submit their manuscript to a journal. So if you are getting any manuscript from a author which belongs to that particular native, so this AI language tool provides a tremendous help to that particular person or particular native place. Now these are the practical checklist. What we have to do, we have to that review the policy that we have gone through the guidelines provided by the institute or journals or any funding agency that we should know. We have to remove any sensitive data that we have discussed here, any confidential data, personal data that we are. Yes, now we have removed that data. We are not submitting that data. We have reviewed the policies, and we will definitely verify the output which is being generated from the AI. Maybe it is a reference in the form of results or interpretations coming out from the analysis or something like that, right? And we planned the transparency disclosure also. So we will clearly mention that the use of AI tool in research paper, reports, or presentation, wherever required, wherever it is asked, we have to disclose that, right? Similarly, these are the declaration that we already have discussed. Key methodology section where we can use data collection, language editing. There, for what purpose we have used that AI for a particular journal. What are the guidelines for using AI? We have to read those, and then we have to submit our manuscript, disclosing and declaring the use of AI in the research. May it be written in the cover letter of that journal where we are submitting our data or we are submitting our manuscript, or in acknowledgement part we can also write, we can cite somewhere, right? And these are some of the AI tool which we are using in research. So literature के लिए we use consensus, it is available. Research Rabbit, it is available. Other than these, literature review we can use the chat GPT, also DeepSeek we can also use. Gemini also produce good results. Reading and document synthesis, for that purpose we can use these notebook LM, Scholarly, like for data analysis and statistics and coding के लिए that we can use GitHub, Copilot and Chat GPT. Gemini we can use in Google Colab, where the Python codes can be run very easily there, that we can also use. Then citation, references, integrity, we can use these mentally, and AI plugins we can use. And academic writing, peer review, we can use Cloud, we can use ChatGPT, we can use DeepSeek, we can use. The problem with DeepSeek, they do not generate that graphical images, so they provide the codes. And for Gemini, it is quite easy to generate the code. For ChatGPT also, the person, those researchers having full, pro version of that, they can easily generate the code. So these are the key takeaways of the ethical use of that AI tools. First one is follow rules. Whatever the rules are available, you should know the guidelines, the standards, and the policies. You should know that. Protect your data, protect your confidentiality, protect your. Do not provide any sensitive information. Do not upload any sensitive information in the that AI tool. Then verify everything you are putting in there. Okay, so check AI generated content, facts, results, and references before the use. Be accountable. AI is not accountable. I've told you multiple times. AI is only for assistance. He is not author or co-author. So it is up to you. You are fully responsible for the accuracy or integrity, whatever you are putting, you are submitting. It is up to you, right? And be transparent. Be transparent simply means the disclosure. So you provide the disclosure of your data you have used or the AI tool you used for a particular uh, in a particular way, like grammatical improvement, structural improvement, or typeset, or anything like that. You just have to disclose. These are the major references. You can also refer these. It is available on internet. You can find Research Data Alliance RDA 2025 guidelines on AI. These are available, properly available. Then there is a literature, Wiley AI guidelines. You can also search. It was published in 2025. Then Springer also published one ethical principle script in 2025. You can also go through that. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, discussion queries we can take if you have any query. we can discuss here. Let me come back to the slide. Stop sharing.
Yes, any questions from the participant side? Yes, if anyone want to ask the question, you may unmute and then you can ask. Okay, so I think there is no any questions. So now I am concluding the session. So thank you very much, Dr. Manish Kumar sir, for delivering such an enlightening and engaging lecture. Your valuable
Thank you, sir.
insights, experiences, and thoughtful discussions have greatly enriched our understanding of the topic. I am confident that all the participants have benefited immensely from your expert guidance. We sincerely appreciate the time and effort you have devoted this session despite of your busy schedule. On behalf of the organizing committee and all the participants, I express my heartful gratitude to you. Once again,
Thank you.
thank you very much, sir. We wish you good health, happiness, and continued success in all your future endeavors. So
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arvind sir. Thank you so much. Thank you to all participants who listen very carefully. They were listening, and I hope now they will understand how next time when they are going to submit their manuscript, what are the essential things required before the submission, after the submission of your manuscript, whether it is a manuscript belongs to any journal or maybe it belongs to any book chapter or belongs to any other book book editing if you are they are disclosing everything. So I hope it will help them, and you can take my email ID from the organizer, Professor Arvind sir. You can